Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what is life coaching and why do I qualify for attendant care under my contract through the state. Well, it's a contract between the state and the brokerage services I receive, and it is just a one-on-one ratio contract where I am working with my life coach and myself. So it's only the two of us when it comes to attendant care. No one else is supposed to be working with us because it's just on my contract. I get supported by gaining more independence, and there's 7 categories to attendant care. It is breaking up in sections, and I'm going to go through the list and tell you what is in the list. So 1 is cognition, and that is understanding and communicating what you need and how you feel and expressing yourself. So that's a big part when I have autism. She is learning to help me communicate with me better and how to express myself in a nice manner. Both of my life coaches know I have trouble communicating and I have apraxia of speech, and I am an adult now and I still have that where I know what I want to say, but it takes me a little bit of time to figure out what my brain wants to tell my mouth still. So that has been an issue this past year, especially now. I don't know why it's getting worse, but it's just they help me understand and they just help me with a communication barrier. If I don't understand what someone else is saying in public, then they will translate it in the language I need, and that's sometimes using different words, using more basic words, and just stuff like that. Number 2 is participation. So that is joining in community activities. So that's why we do things in public. It's to get me all just like help me with interacting with the community, and that's why we do stuff. Number 3 is life activities. So that is just responsibilities when it comes to leisure or education services. So they help me with my schooling and just help me with basic life activities most people can't do from themselves. I need extra help. So that's why they're there to help me with, if I need help with anything, then they're there to do that. And running errands, doctor's appointments, that is just life activities that they need to help me with, to help me live a more independent life. And they teach me the skills. Number 4 is getting along, interacting with other people. Yeah, I get along, but they help me get along when I'm with them too, when I'm with other people, because I do not like interacting with people sometimes. I love my me time. I love spending time with myself and with my animals and just being in nature with myself sometimes, but it's a good balance to be with people and interact with them too. So that is why the participation in the community and the interacting is a good fit, because I would not really do activities by myself. So that's why my life coaches join me, because it's their job to help me be more independent and not nervous, because I do have social anxiety and I'm really shy when I meet new people. So they're just there to like coach me and is there for a support team. Number 5 is self-care. So that can be hygiene, dressing, eating, staying home alone. And that is just a very important skill to have, because self-care is what takes care of yourself. You need self-care to manage your life a lot. And it's really interesting because I am independent when it comes to hygiene and dressing, but I need help with staying alone, how the house works when I'm left alone, paying the bills, what runs the house. And also eating. I skip meals, I eat large portions, and that's why I don't eat sometimes like regular people. So they help me with like staying home alone and making sure I know everything in the house and everything. So that's really good to know, is they will help me to gain those independent skills if I were to move out of my parents' house. I am still a college student, but they will help me if I need help with anything about the house. They will get along and kind of help me through the problems I will be facing if I were to live alone. Number 6 is mobility. So that is moving around and getting along, or moving around. That means that most people who have autism, from my experience, I have lots of friends who have disabilities that do not drive. And they are great people, great friends to hang out with, but they do not drive. So my contract also involves mileage. So they can drive me mileage, or they can drive me around the city, or like we do day trips and overnight trips, and they actually have mileage. So this year I have 4,000 miles, and that is a lot for the year because I've been doing lots of overnight trips this past year. So that is really good because sometimes I can drive, and when I drive, they don't pay for anything because it's my car, my gas, my insurance, my everything. But when they drive, they have to write down the mileage because the state pays for the mileage, and the state pays for when they get paid. So that's why they have to keep track of that, and it increases the independence when they drive too. If I don't want to drive and I want to go somewhere, then yeah, they'll be fine taking me because it's on the contract, and I like driving myself too with them because it increases my independence and I can do longer road trips and save my mileage up too. Number 7 is emotional and mental health. They help me with my emotions, and they help me with how to regulate my emotions, sensory input, everything like that. They help me with my anxiety levels, my OCD problems I face. They just help me just kind of stay on track with my emotions. And this is a quote. Attendant care involves providing needed assistance for people with disabilities to perform tasks than would normally be doing for themselves. Attendant care services focus on maximizing the person's independence across a number of settings, home or community. So that is basically what it is in a nutshell. I took this definition off Google, so it's right off Google. It's not in my words, but that's why I quoted it, because I wanted some definition in what attendant care is besides my opinion and my understanding of it. But all these 7 categories really do help me, and it does take a while for people to work with me and for people to understand me. I really struggle with speech now, as I said previously in this video, and being in public. Those are like the 2 most stressful things in my life right now, as long with deep pressure. I am really off my normal tracks right now because I have lots of things in my life that is going on. I'm not documenting that because it's personal to me and I don't want to share that, but I do have struggles I don't share on YouTube, and right now I feel like it's really worse, and I feel it, and I'm not mentally there right now, and it really sucks to feel that way and to work through the problems with my life coaches, my mom, my aunt, just people I care about. But it's hard because it's just I've been facing these issues for like the last couple weeks. Sometimes it's just really hard to figure out what to do, and it's scary. Like, I'm going into an unknown, and I definitely feel comfortable sharing more things with my life coaches than my parents. Like, it's less awkward because they don't live with me, I don't live with them. So it's kind of interesting to share more things with my life coaches than my parents sometimes, because we just have that connection, and we just have that personal connection where I feel like, oh, we get along, and they really do help me with my life in aspects of areas that I need. And I feel very fortunate that I can tell them more things than my mom sometimes, because it's less awkward. Like, just think of, oh, you just meet with them, you just work with them once a week, and they know my life really well. I just feel like I have that, and it's nice to share things with my life coaches that I don't share with my mom, because it's just less awkward, and it's just, I feel like I'll get more out of that. And like, they have really deep conversations with me, and they help me. My parents help me too, but it's just a different dynamic, just like anything. So I feel very fortunate that I have this attendant care service, and I'm glad it's one-on-one, because that's what I need to really be independent. And then I also have another contract with them too. So I have 3 contracts through my life coach's agency. I have mileage, and I have attendant care, and I also have day service activities that will be 2 clients or 3 clients without 1 provider or 1 life coach. But I don't want to do that right now. It was just on my plate, so I could work with some other clients if it's on their contract too, to have that more community inclusion and more interacting with people my age. But I'm not doing that right now. I feel like I want to use my hours on attendant care because I only have a certain amount of attendant care hours, and I just want to maximize myself first and meeting with other people. So that's basically it, and thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone.